Good morning, guys. Our two students. This is Sunday Valentine's. Believe it or not, my hair's a mess today. I'm gonna do the value strips with you guys and the color wheel and something we're painting today. Now, those of you guys who picked up the paint, I'm gonna have to find a substitute for white paint. You can use whiteout. Believe it or not, whiteout will work okay, but you have to work it really quick. Uh, or you can use a white coloring pencil. I'm gonna do that too. So. But the rest of you guys have paint at home. All you guys who have paint, please use it. Sorry guys. Anyways, I'm gonna talk a little bit early now. Paint brushes. You should never mix your paint brushes. So if you have watercolor brushes, put them in a little box like I did. This is why I keep. This is my palette for watercolor. This is where I keep my watercolors. Now, some people do go professional and keep it looking. I bought this at the 99-cent store. I go, this is perfect for my watercolors. I keep my brushes in there, and I keep them. Now, I do use oil brush. I paint mostly with oil, but and you can also paint with acrylic. You never mix your brushes because you have to clean them differently. Oil paint brushes have to use paint thinner. Odorless paint thinners. Don't use regular paint thinner like you buy at Home Depot for like household, like painting walls and stuff like that. You don't want to use those because those will destroy the brush. Brushes we use the fan, as you can tell. I'm gonna hold it up against my face. You can see why it's called a fan. We have the flat. I call this the diagonal flat. You know, and then we have different types of round. This one's really tiny. You can barely see it. That's a round, and so is this one. If you take a class, more than likely a really good painting instructor will tell you just invest in a really good um, round brush first. But I would advise you, even if you can afford it, try to get the whole set. Try to get an affordable one, a diagonal, a flathead, a fan, a round, two types of rounds. Okay, now, like I mentioned, you don't mix your brushes. So if you want to paint watercolors, you're going to have a set for watercolors. If you're going to make a choice of either acrylic or oil, uh, you're going to have to, or you do both of them. So you're going to have a set for acrylic, a set for oils. They just don't mix. Watercolors and watercolors and tempera and acrylics. You use water to mostly clean them up. Sometimes you will have to use a particular soap, the same soap I use to clean my oil brushes. It's painter's soap. You want to, when you're not going to use your brushes for a good time, and after they're nice and dry, there's no paint in them anymore. You want to put a little bit of linseed oil on them, especially oil brushes. Watercolor brushes, no, you can let them be dry. You don't have to put linseed oil to protect them. So I'm going to put these away because they're meant for. I'm going to have to get some more fan brushes because I noticed my fan ones. I use them at school, but some kids love to do a 5-finger discount. Take those, especially you girl ladies, because you want to use, and they're different sizes. But like I would say, one good flat, a diagonal flat, and then I close it properly. Oh, I forgot to leave. This is a little house in town, so I haven't had much room. There we go. Put back the penguin in its place. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we're good for now. So let me just. So we're gonna do right now 2 value strips. You've drawn your color wheel. You've done the 2 pizza slices, as I call them, or pie slices. Those ones are gonna be last. Okay, with the color wheel. That would be the second video for painting, but we're gonna do color strips right now. So, as I mentioned, I open up. This is how I set up my station. To clean up a little bit of this, let me move some tools away. So here's my sheet of paper. The only thing I've done, you guys did off camera, is, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I put some white paint in there. So I'm going to bring in, this is my watercolor palette, some 01, and And the great thing about watercolors compared to oils or any other paints, tempera is okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to crack this open, which I did. I really don't need this anymore. I'm going to mix my palette here, like you guys. And here's where I noticed there's no white. I was trying to make some white. So I'm going to put this maybe a little bit down here. Let me put it here. This I don't need anymore, so I can throw it away. So here's the deal. How to make white when you don't have it? Well, there's two options. You have white color pencils. And even if they say they're not watercolors, where's the one I have? Here we go. Okay, this is what you do. And ignore the mess I just did. I have to clean that up. White color pencil. So this is what I did. I let it sit over for about an hour or so. Not too much because I don't want the wood to get swollen. So, and this is how I set up my station. 2 water sections. That's what you do for watercoloring. And tempera. Most tempera paint now is more like a watercolor paint. They're dry. Tempera is egg-based. Watercolors is mostly made out of natural vegetable plants. Some vegetable plants or regular plants mixed with the pigment. They're much more. They're safer for the environment and your cells. So basically, that's what I did. I let it sit in there for a little while. Not that, a little bit longer than this. And then when it got all soft, I just put it in there. Okay, it's still kind of not, almost has a paint. Not yet. I should have left, like I said, leave it for half an hour. Check for it in a half an hour. And then when you're done, do that. If not, grab some whiteout, which I'm going to do my whiteout section. Although whiteout does dry up quick and has a lot of plastic, acts more like acrylic paint. So what you can do with it is grab some water, and I'm using this as my palette here, like you guys will. You guys can see that. Good. So you guys can see the whole. So I grab some of this right now, put some water in there, keep it fresh, and I just might put a little bit down here. That's another way to do it. But you're going to have to clean it out dry. You don't want to let it dry because then you're going to have to peel off the paint. And we're just seeing this happen right now. That's okay. If that does happen, there's a trick to this. Grab some water here. You go to your bathroom, use regular hand the same soap you use to wash your hands. Oh, crud, it did snapped out again. Oh, boy. Grab some soap, rinse it with a little bit of lukewarm water, and we'll come off. So I'm going to let some water run. That's too hot. It does come out. I'm using the tip of my fingernail. I will mix that later on with paint. So I've already done that. That will work. Give me a second, guys. Oh my god. I lost a little snap on that. Gonna have to be somewhere here. It just runs great. It was at the 99-cent store. I will have to fix it somehow. It has to be somewhere here. Okay. So let's get back to you guys. So let's do our first color wheel. I'm going to pick the color blue. As I mentioned, I have some tissue paper here. So I would go with the watercolor pencils first. So I got my clean station. This is the one I'm going to clean my brush first. I got some toilet paper here, tissue. Toilet paper is perfect to dry our brushes right there. And then this is what the water I'm going to use when I want to mix a fresh color. So now I'm going to go with the color blue. So I'm going to put some clean water from here. Never clean your brushes in this one. Always clean it in the first one before you change colors too. So now I'm getting the color blue. I'm going to test it out first. Yeah, it's coming out nicely. So more water. Okay, so I'm going to do the color blue first. So I'm going to do my color blue here. There we go. I might just need more. There we go. So I am doing my first value strip. And you guys can see that. Good. It's coming out in the video. So I'm trying to do as much. This is where the pure color goes, in the center. We have 1, 2, 3 here. 3. So we have 7 stages as we drew in the first. If you saw video 1 and 2, A and B, that's what we're doing. So let me grab more water here. There we go. So I'm going to do a very deep blue here. That's okay. There we go. I might have to use this. I'm using this so I won't smear my paint, because I put the white first. So there's a little bit of white down here. I grabbed some of my old white, or you can use the watercolor pencils, or if you have coloring pencils, that will work too. Put the white there first from a coloring pencil, if you have one of these. It does happen, so there we go. Okay, or just let the white paper work for it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm putting a lot of blue here, because I don't want it to look, the white color of the paper will react as a canvas. It works good as a canvas, but the properties of the white paper. Okay, so good. So I got my blue here. I'm not going to add blue first. What I'm going to do is clean my brush. See how I clean my brush? Then I bring it here to the glass. Okay, if you have more than one brush, that's perfect. So this is how you clean. You push out all the paint from here from the tip. So if you ever buy your own set of paint brushes, watercolors, oils, or acrylic or tempera, that's how you clean your brush. You don't want to let the paint to build up, because it'll build up and get really messy. So I'm going to go into the clean water here, get some clean water, and I'm going to grab with the black. And I'm going to come back here to my value scale. This is where my shadow is, my chiaroscuro. I'm going to see how thick. No, it looks kind of. So I'm going to go in here. It's okay. I'm one of the. Now, I would advise you guys, if the water gets really messy here or in these two, it's time to change, because you don't want to bring in paint from another section. So I'm going to put some more black in here. There we go. It looks kind of grayish, so that's what I meant, the white paper. So we really don't need white paint. I kind of like it. It helps out. So again, here we go. Please watch the videos. Do it right. I want it to look like ink, almost. Looks like it just came out of one of those Indian ink stands. There we go. Get some more. And black and blue work cool. They're both coal. Black is the ultimate coal, but it's not a color. I call it a tint. That's how my instructors used to call it. They call it now just, there we go. So there's a lot of black here in the base. I'm kind of basing it. So there we go. Now the problem with watercolors, acrylic, and you have to paint a certain way to blend. Oils, you can sometimes still fix your mess. That's why I like oils. So go here, push it out. So I think that it worked for me great last night, but for some reason I used a particular whiteout. Which one is this? The Bix. I was using the old whiteout. That one works much better than because it's paper. This one has plastic. That's why it was drying up like an acrylic. So now I'm going to go back to the blue, grab some clean water, come back to the blue here. See that? I'm going to grab some of the blue. Never dip your blue twice. Whoops. Okay, try to get it from the sides too. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in here. There we go. There's my black and blue. You can't even tell the difference, because blue and black blend really good. So now here I'm going to go with a lighter tone. You're going to see that. See that, guys? Flip it around, because you got paint on the other side too. There we go. So I'm going to spread this out. I'm going to take some from here, not too much. Spread it out. So white kind of works on it. It's helping us out. Do this. I'm going to have to clean this out because you don't want to go in with a dirty brush into your palettes. That's where it gets messed up. Okay, if you have two brushes, great. When you're only working with one, well, you got to economize your... Whoops, almost went outside the box. That's a big no-no. There we go. Bring that here. I'm going to let it touch. It's okay. Let it touch. There we go. Whoops, that's okay. So, and you're going to notice the colors become lighter and lighter. Closer we get. I should have left some more black in here. No, that was a big no. I didn't clean my brush, but it's black. So blue and black, this is how we make black lighter, believe it or not. We don't add white to it because you got gray. You go with a lighter version. So now I'm going to grab this brush. Okay. So put a little bit of cleanness here. And probably this is the tone I want. So I'm going to go in here, clean this a bit. Okay. I kind of like cleaning as soon as I flip colors. I like to change waters. I just my habit. So I'm getting it from the sides. Never get it from the center. It's easy. We're all being lazy. We want to get it from the center first, but you don't want to do that. So put that in here very softly. Okay. Making this lighter. So I'm going to use as much of this blue, light blue here as possible. Here we go. Get those edges. Take a little bit more, not too much because we still need more blue later on. There we go. There we go. Take some from here too if you need to. And then I'm going to take some of this dirty black here. Not too much, just a little bit. And it's drying up. I can just feel it. Just a dip it. That's too much. Spread it out. There we go. I'm going to bring it here too. It's getting really too dark for me. So I'm jumping back to the dark side. Well, let's just say a grayer side. Clean this brush again. I'm going to take a little bit of the blue, just a little bit, not too much. There we go. That's what I wanted. Bring this here too, right here. Maybe a little bit here. So you're creating a tone. You have different types of tones here. Let me get all of this here. There we go. I'm going to take a little bit more black, not too much. It's drying up already, so get it closer to the dark side, but that's way too much. So that means I have to get more blue. Yeah, I'm going to cheat. Get some, oops, see the center's already wearing away. There we go. Spread it out. Okay. Now I'm going to use my brush. I want to even it out. You know, spread it, make it constant. There we go. Okay, so I think, let me get these little spots here. They're really irritating me. There we go. Okay, clean that brush again. I might just have to change waters now. My cleaning station, I'm gonna dump it out because it's got too dirty for me. I'm very picky and particular about that. I notice students who do that, they don't mind it. I do. Also, your dirty paint water, I say flush it down the toilet like I did. So there we go. So now, coming back to this. So I told you guys I grabbed some white. Okay. So I'm going to grab more blue here. I'm going to change that blue here. There we go. Whoops. Well, I guess this is going to be my first station. This is going to be my second station now, the fresher water. That's okay. So I'm going to grab some of this blue here. Just want to refreshen this. There we go. Much better now. And don't want to use up all your blue, guys. Remember, the water will dry. So you want to, there we go. Okay, so now taking some of this with the white here. Come back to this. Where's my white? Yesterday's white. Ooh, yesterday's white just got a little bit dirty for me. Let's go this way. It's okay to wet the paper a little bit more. There we go. Don't want to go outside the line. There we go. Don't want to add more to it. I just want to work with what I have right now. Spread it. Spread it out. There we go. Much better. Okay. So now I'm going to go here. Clean that out. Grab more of the blue I have here. Except it's really dark. See, don't want to make it darker than this. There we go. Now I'm doing this here again because I don't want to spread it out. So now I'm going to spread this one out more. It's going to come out a little bit lighter. I'm using the white of the paper to create my tone. So I got to do this fast before it dries. So, okay, here we go. Spread it out. You're going to see the tone become lighter than the center box. This should be a little bit darker blue. This should be a lighter blue. And it's okay to take from there. See that? So you have to train your eye to see what you're looking at, guys, too. So spread it out here. If you have excess blue, just stick it in there. It's okay to, this is your pure color. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. So spread it out right here. You're going to lighten this out. I'm not going to add any more. I'm just going to spread it out now. I'm going to clean my brush. Get rid of that excess. There we go. Yeah. Grab some of this from here. And we're going to bring it here. There we go. Spread it out. It's way too much. Okay, I got a little bit outside the box, but that's okay. And now here. This one's going to be a little bit lighter. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grab some, let me clean my brush, because I'm dirtying up my white. There we go. Got to clean that white. There we go. So now I'm going to put a little bit of white here. Should put some of that white there. There we go. And that's the bad thing about I'm carrying the blue into my white. I'm dirtying my little white station here, which is not good. I wanted to keep it pure white. You can still do that. Blue is much easier. So I'm going to add more white here because it looks not the tone I wanted. There we go. Let me get that right there. There we go. Much better. There we go. Let me do that difference here. Letting it know there's a different tone in town here. taking some of the blue here too. I'm going to jump over there right now. There we go. So now I'm going to make this tone somewhere between this white and that one. So I'm going to take some of the blue here. Oops, see what happens? My dirty brush had too much white in it. Go into the clean station. So I have to dip in both. I'm going to clean my blue palette section. There we go. So now I'm going to spread this out. Getting a different tone right now. That's okay. Something went different here. That's because I added white to it. We can still fix it, don't worry. That just might help us out. So now I'm going to grab more white, a little bit of blue here. Mix that. Gonna mix it somewhere. If I mix it here, that could work. It actually does, but it's too, in my opinion, if you notice, it's going to be too dark. So if I take some of this here, there we go, blend that in here. That's cool. Put it in here, clean it out, and dry the brush. So I'm going to have to work this real quick, because that's the bad thing about watercolors. They dry quick. Not as bad as acrylic, but I'm not a... So now, put a little white in here. See if I can tone it down a bit. There we go. That's what I wanted. Got now a nice transition. Didn't want to do that. It's not like oils, Mr. Navas. There we go. Okay, so take some of the white here. Spread it out, make it sure all even. And I think I got my tone here. I gotta add more white to this section. Gotta blend this in. There we go. And I got my value scale for blue. You guys see that? So we have it for blue. You guys see that? Okay, so now, and I should be mixing my paints here. The reason is I have a palette already of mine, and I'm using some of my oil. I hate to see oil paint go bad. So now I'm going to clean my station. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to take some of the black right now. Okay, and I'm going to put it in here too. But I'm going to go with orange. Let's put the black station here first. It's going to dry, I know. There we go. I'm going to let it dry for a little while, for a second. I'm not getting fresh water. And the reason it's coming out this way is because there's a lot of white in my dirty water. And that's why I have to dump it out. Okay. Oh, dump it into I kind of like dumping it into the toilet because, well, you can do the same. The residue left is more like, I also come over here and I'm cleaning my brush a little bit. Put a little soap in there, hand wash soap. Got some cold water. There we go. Now I'm going to be honest with you. Lukewarm. Make sure it's cold, a little bit cold water, not too cold. But the problem is it has a lot of air. There we go. So now I'm going to pick the color orange. I'm going to go in here. Where's my orange at? And I'll be honest with you, I kind of put water in them first last night, but they do dry quick. So now I'm grabbing some of the orange from the sides. Grab some of the orange from the sides. Good. I'm going to put it in here. It's kind of weak. I'm going to grab some of my older one. So, there we go. There we go. Like I said, put some orange in here. Okay. If worse comes to worse, you can always make your own orange. I'm going to see if I have any orange left. My orange I come more partial to red orange, so I got to be careful. So I'm going to go into my own stash right now. Like I mentioned, here are my watercolor brushes. These are mine. There's again around. So I'm going to grab some of my orange here. Here's my watercolor. This is the stuff. Oh my god, it's getting all crusty. Haven't used it for a while, and it's a little bit. Let me put it in there. That's the orange I want to use. There we go. The cool thing about watercolors, even if they dry in your palette, you can still reuse it. Put a little water, and after it dries up, and it reactivates. Let me put it back in its spot. Oh, I do have some. I have more orange too. Got two types of oranges. Oh, this is my dad's. It's so dry. I could put water in there. It's so dry. Oh, it almost feels like oil paint actually. He got the expensive kind. Let me close this in. Yeah, my dad got the vermilion orange. So I'm going to mix these two. My orange. There we go. Nicely. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to get my orange here. I'm using this orange instead because it looks better on video. There we go. So there's my pure orange. And we're basically getting the Halloween color here in this box. Let's put it in here. Get this side. There we go. Get this little side too. There we go. Okay. So so now you see my black. I'm going to mix my black orange here. I might have to put more black into it. Notice how it's going to be different from the blue black. So I'm putting just using whatever orange I got from here. Never go back to your palette. Make sure you wash your brush first because you're going to mix up your colors. You don't want to do that. And I call this the Halloween black because these will grab the pumpkin color, mix it in. So clean your brush like I'm doing right now. Okay, might have to clean it more. Squeeze it to the edge of the glass, bring it over here. I'm going to grab some here, see if that blends in. I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to go with black now. I'm going to see if I can darken it more. It's okay, I'm happy with it, don't get me wrong. But I want some of that. I want it really dark. There we go. Sweet. Bring it over here. There we go. Okay, so that's why I should have had two brushes. So I'm going to put a little bit here. I'm going to spread it out here a bit. Not too much, just a little bit. Maybe a little bit lesser here. Lets me know. I spread it out, so I'm going to spread it out here more. There we go. Let's wait. Grab some water to spread. Oops. It's okay. Got too much black here, so I'm going to have to put some of it here. Spread it out. Mr. Navas. Going to have to spread it out lightly. Get on this side too. So use water. I'm going to clean my brush. Get rid of that excess black I have in there. Okay, spread it out here. Might have to take it back to the black here. which I have to do now. Clean this out a bit more. Okay, cool. Clean my brush. Make sure there's no, go into the clean station, second clean station. I'm going to grab some of the orange here. And I'm going to go here. I'm going to add more orange on this side. There we go. So mixing these in nicely into the black center. And you're going to notice the distinction right now. There we go. Whoops, went away too much into the wrong box, but that's okay. We can still fix it. Get some of that black in there. There we go. Might have to add a little bit more black into this. So I'm going to take some of this black orange. Get in here. There we go. Nice. Oops. Put it in here. Except it's coming out darker on this side. I just noticed that. So I'm going to have to clean my brush. Grab this. Clean my brush again. Get all that excess and then bring more orange. Whoops. In here. Bring it in. It's a big no-no. So this is what the best thing about paper. Grab my white out. Cheating, I know. I just have an issue with craftsmanship. So there we go. There we go. Clean that up. Clean that up a bit. There we go. So that's how you solve problems in art. Got to think quick. So I got to work fast too, because I just realized. There we go. If not, my brush dries up quick. Bring that in. Got way too much black in here. It's gonna start. So I gotta add some water. Get some more pumpkin. So I call my orange. I call it pumpkin. There we go. Don't want to put more black in here. So there's a way to fix this, and I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to have to, whoops, there we go. See, it's going into. Gotta bring this in here too. Come on, get over here. Get in here too. See that? Okay. And that's how we learn how to do shadow. We have to figure out, okay, so they almost look the same. So this means I'm going to have to add a little bit more black on next, on the back side. So I'm going to come back here. Okay, grab some of this black here. Bring it over here. Just a little bit. Maybe on this back section. Blend it in again. Get some, oh my god, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to have to. It's better to have two brushes than one sometimes. I'm blending this right now, so blend that in. So I'm going to darken this more quicker. So you can see a distinction between this box and this one. Get that little spot here. Not done yet, I've got to add more black, I see. Dry the brush a bit more, grab some more black. There we go. Darken it more on this side too. And if you think the paper's getting soft like I am right now, it's okay. It will dry. Use a hair dryer. Okay, there we go. Get this spot here. It's really irritating me. There we go. Clean this out. There's still a bit pumpkin orange in there. Let me grab some more black. Put it in here. There's still pumpkin in there, but it's going to look darker. That's what we wanted to do. Here we go. There we go. So we do have a valley tone right now. Let me get here on the edge. Clean this out a bit here. There we go. And unfortunately, I'm running out of time too. So you're seeing this. Orange, surprisingly, as a warm color, does blend in. Let me clean it on my hand. There we go. Just in case, we can see a little transition here. Dot here, dot here. Spread it out too if you need to, like I am. Helps out sometimes when you spread it out. There we go. That lets it know. There we go. Not done yet. Oh. So this is how we fix our mistakes in art. So here I'm going to add more orange. So we can have the transition. Lets me know this is this transition starts here in the border. Bring some of this here. Spread it up. Also this little line down here. There we go. And I think we're done with this. Don't want to put too much of this side too. There we go. Okay, so you can see the transition right now. Okay, orange is one of those that just really, what the heck was that on my, that just, some people are so rude. So anyways, put more pumpkin in here. I'm still not happy. I'm still messing with it. There we go. There's a transition right now. That's what I wanted to see. And mix it up here too. Whoops. Shouldn't have done that. So what you do is, when that happens, you want to do this. Blend it in. But not too much. So you do have a transition there. Now let's clean our brushes. I'm going to dump out the dirty water now. This has a lot. So I'm going to grab some of my white here. Not too much. Or use a watercolor pencil. You can crush it too. I've done that in the past. Put a lot of white here. Some white here. And do my whites first. So now you're going to see me do a transition right now. I'm going to grab some of the, whoops, big mistake. So what you do when this happens, you can grab some tissue or use the brush itself. I'm going to put just a couple of dots here. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Here I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to see it change. There we go. Okay. Take some of this too. There we go. Push this a little bit back. Okay. Don't want to smear my paint. So be careful, you can smear your paint on your canvas. Think of your paper as your canvas. So spread this out first before it dries up too quick. There we go. That's a nice, see that guys? Oh. This orange is being much nicer now. So it's a lighter tone here. Coming back to this one. Grab some water. I'm grabbing some clean water. I'm going to blend some of this instead. Whoops, that's too much, I think. I'm going to bring it here instead. I'm going to steal this later on. Stealing the paint from here. Can you do that? Yes, you can definitely do that. Because you're realizing, wow, that's the tone I want. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the orange. I'm taking the cream color orange from there. And I'm putting it in here to create my lighter tone. And here I'm just going to add white. That's what I'm going to do right now. So put that in there. Okay, I'm going to mix some of it here too. There we go. So now I'm going to clean my brush. Notice how dirty the water is. That's not a good thing. So this way I jump into the second pool. Bring it to the brush, clean the brush. I'm going to take some of the white. I'm going to take some of the little bit white dried up I have left in here. You can use, like I said, grab a colored pencil, watercolor pen, and crush it. So now I'm just going to add more white. That's it. And spread it out. Grab some more clean water. Make sure the water's clean. Grabbing some of this white here. And put it here where it's really orange. I want to take some of that. And bring this here. I think I'm just going to grab a little bit of orange. Just a little bit. Just spread it out. There we go. Just to let me know this was orange once. But it's a cream orange. It's a white orange now. And I think we're done. So you got your transitions. There you guys go. Although, if this does happen here like it did, here's a trick to it. Put that in here. Let's do this. Clean this out. I'm going to put some more cream orange in here. And I'm going to lighten this bear here more. So I'm going to spread this out now. Make it a different tone. And if you notice, we got brown. Remember I told you brown is part of the orange family. It's when you add black. If you add blue, you get brown. There you guys see. You guys see the transition now? So remember, brown is part of the orange family. It is an orange. Okay. And you got your blue. So now, that's basically it. I would say take a break, clean your stations. In a little while, I'm going to start with the color wheel. This is how I look on Sundays. And that's it. Okay, guys? So, whoops. Made a big mistake. So, you have your valley strips, video 1. It should take you lesser time than I did. I'm kind of, because I had to set up station and I like to clean up. So use a hair dryer if you want to. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to dry them, but we got our valley strips. Next, I'm going to work on the color wheel. Talk to you guys later. Bye.